Hey everyone, so I'm back with another video. What we have in front of us is an LG Smart TV. It's a 2020 year model. It's a 43-inch LCD panel, and been using it for about 4 to 5 days now. And I thought I'll make a short little review and give you an idea about the pros and cons of this TV. So let's start with where I got this from. So I got it on Flipkart, and if I'm not mistaken, it's retailing for maybe around 29,000 right now. And perhaps in these ongoing sales, you could probably even get it for cheaper. But I think it's available even on Amazon as well, on both platforms, Amazon as well as Flipkart, and it's about 29,000 rupees. But if you go to the LG website, it shows 41,000. So I hope no one goes to the LG website to buy it over there, because this is definitely not worth 41,000. All right, so moving on. Flipkart delivered it within 2 days, as was given on their website. But the installation in my city took a little bit longer because the contractors in my city did not have the mounting brackets available. So that took a little longer, but the installation was really quick. He was here, he was in and out within say about 20 minutes. They do the markings and they drill 4 holes into the wall, and that's it. There's nothing more that he needs to do, and the TV gets mounted. So it literally took, I don't know, 20-30 minutes, roughly around that time. He was in and out. The guy was pretty good. He wore a mask the entire time, and he left. There's no installation charges. So I don't know if some of you have faced where the installation guy asked you for money for installation, but for me there was no installation. I think it was just the standard wall mount. Perhaps if you ask for a fancier wall mount, maybe that's what they charge you. Either way, it was a good installation process. He was in and out quickly. Alright, so like I mentioned, this is an LCD panel, and it's really good. And I noticed that it does recognize HDR, because you see a lot of times that they market these features about HDR and stuff like that, and you're not really sure, right? But this TV actually does recognize it. If you go to YouTube and you play a couple of videos, you do get a pop-up in the top right corner that says HDR or such, so that it identifies that. So let's do this. So right now I'm connected to a hotspot device, as most people who buy these TVs, they do have hotspot that they use to connect to the internet. So I'm just going to show that to you. We go into settings, and right here on the left of your screen it says connected to wireless. So I'm going to click that, and it takes a bit to load. So there you go. You can see the TV model as well over there. So that's actually the model number of this TV. And there is an option, as you can see, for wired connection, which is not connected right now. Then you have the Wi-Fi connection, and there you go. That is my hotspot. That is my sister's hotspot. So as you can see, it does recognize even hotspot devices. You don't need to have a proper wireless router. And so 3G, 4G connection. I'm not sure what this is. I think it's where you have one of those dongles that plug into your laptop, the USB based dongles. So I think those you can connect directly onto this TV, and it will recognize it as a hotspot dongle. So there you go. And it also says that in the small little dialog box that popped up on the right. And yeah, there you go. There's a bunch of other settings over here. So let's move back, and I'm gonna go to YouTube to check out the HDR video like I mentioned. So we go to YouTube, we'll go to guest. As you can see, there's options for guest as well. We go to search, and I'm using a remote control to do all these tasks on the TV. I'm not using the mobile app. Perhaps I will do a separate video on that. But for now, standard, I'm using the remote control that came with the box. So let's go to LG Global HDR, and let's click that. Alright, so now the moment I click this video, you're going to notice on the top right corner there's a small pop-up that says HDR. So let's click this. as you can see, top right corner. So this is a hotspot device, so it's probably lowered the resolution quite a bit. So as you can see on the left hand side, you get the standard controls that you would see on YouTube mobile app. So I'm going to click on HD. Oh, as you can see, it's taken the lowest setting. What I'm going to do is right now I'm going to hit it at 480p, which is okay. It's just okay. So I'm just going to keep it at 480p standard, and I'll show you the quality at 480p. All right. Again, top right corner, HDR icon popped up. The sound that you hear is by the internal speakers. So if you ask me, the clarity is pretty good. I have taken a couple of clips off this TV on 720p and 1080p as well, and it looks fantastic. Alright, so I'm going to pause that right here, and we're going to go back to search. The reason being is, perhaps people might think that, okay, since this is an LG channel, maybe the TV just recognizes it, right? Fair enough, it could happen. Some people could think that. I noticed this a couple of days back. Here's a channel that I follow. It's called Zolotech. All right. They've got really good. He's got really good videos about iPhones. So I'm just going to go to his channel because I noticed something different on his channel. Oh. Okay. There we go, Zolotech, the first one on the search. Now he's recorded a video, this one right here, the iPhone 12 Pro review, and he's recorded this one in HDR. I'm going to play that for you right now, and you can see what pops up in the top right corner.
Everyone, Aaron here for Zolotech and iPhone 12.
It says HLG HDR. So not only does this TV recognize HDR, it does recognize another format of HDR as well. And as you can see, this is not an LG channel. So it's not one of those where it recognizes that it's playing on an LG channel, so let us just pop up the icon in the corner. No, this is Zolotech. He has nothing to do with LG. He does videos primarily on iPhones and Apple devices, basically. All right, so there you can see it does recognize HDR content. All right, so since I showed that to you, I'm just gonna go back to the dashboard. So I hit the home button, and the small ribbon pops up at the bottom, and I hit dashboard. And there you go. All right, so that's the thing that I wanted to show you about the LCD panel. It does recognize HDR. And another good thing about this panel that I like is the brightness drops quite a bit during the nighttime when you select it. For example, I go into the settings and I go all the way down to all settings, and in picture you can see energy savings. So energy saving it does by lowering the brightness, right? So this also helps you at night. Say you want to do some late night TV watching, and you don't want all that light to hit your eyes. You hit it to maximum energy saving, and it dims the TV quite a bit, and that's really good when you're watching TV at night. It doesn't strain your eyes. And to top that, there's additional settings where you got eye comfort mode. If you click on eye comfort mode, it gives you that orangish tint that you see on most mobile phones when they go into blue light filter mode, right? So this TV has those functions where it will keep your eyes relatively relaxed at night. You don't want all that light hitting your eyes at say 12 or 1 in the morning when you're watching some TV. And if you go into picture mode, you've got standard, you've got cinema, cricket, HDR, and this is another setting that I want to show you for nighttime viewing. It's dark room mode. So all these features together, if you turn them on, it's going to be really easy on your eyes at night. So I'm just gonna move back into regular settings for the rest of this video. Go back to picture, energy saving. I'm gonna leave it at medium, so it's decent brightness for the camera to capture, and I'm gonna switch off eye comfort mode. All right, and we're back to the dashboard. All right, so there you go. And like I mentioned, it does recognize HDR. The sound quality on this panel is good as well. It's got two 10-watt speakers, and under settings for sounds, you're gonna see an option where it recognizes whether you are mounted onto a table stand or you're mounted onto a wall. So you go to additional settings, TV installation types, and it gives you an option. So I'm sure the TV, what it does is it makes sure that the presets and the EQ and all that is set accordingly. You know, it recognizes sound these days. It's next level. So you've got all these options. This TV does support Dolby sound as well. And let's get back into YouTube and check out if we have some videos that we can check out, right? Some copyright-free music perhaps. All right, so I'm gonna click on the home button. The ribbon pops up as usual, and I hit YouTube. All right. All right, here we go. So we're back. I'm gonna hit search. Let's hit NCS, and I'll show you a little bit about the sound. So a little pop-up on the right top corner showed that if I press and hold the center button on my remote control, it will give me more options. So normally on a YouTube app, if you see these videos, you get the small 3-dot icon right under the video icon basically. Here you can't see it because this is not a mobile app, this is a TV app. So what it does is if you do want to see the options, press and hold onto your center button and it will give you options over here. So right now it's just showing play, but sometimes you see play, add to, watch later, not interested. You do see those options over here as well. So I'm going to click on this video. It's been up for 3 days. So I'm just going to click it and give you an idea of the sound. And I show you the volume. It's set to 18. So I think that's the first time I actually hit 35 on the volume control. All right, so let's see if I can find any Dolby sound clips. So we're gonna hit back on the remote control, hit back, and we're gonna go into search. I'm going to search clear. There we go, Dolby Atmos. Alright, so we're going to click on this one. It says Dolby Atmos Demos 4K HDR, good for testing TV or mobile. I'm going to click on this video. Do remember our resolution is set to 480p. There you go, top right corner, again HDR is set.
This is Dolby Cinema. It's where the most advanced cinematic technology.
I'm also going to go into settings and I'm going to enable standard mode sound. Alright, so it's already enabled, as you can see, DTS virtual sound. It's already enabled. Alright, perfect. So we'll get out of here and we'll continue our video.
The ever experience begins. This is Dolby Atmos. The number of speakers around you no longer matters, because this is the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you with pinpoint accuracy. Whether the soundscape system.
Alright, so that's about it for the sound. As you can see, it does have some virtual magic that it does with the speakers. After all, there are only 2 speakers on this television, so you're not going to get real surround sound. I mean, you're going to make it close to surround sound, with all this software magic. But yeah, that's about it. The sound is pretty good. If you ask me, for a regular person, you're watching, say, YouTube videos or Amazon Prime or Netflix, these 2 speakers are loud enough. 20-watt sound. It's got Dolby available, and it does recognize stuff like Dolby. It does recognize stuff like HDR. So moving on to the remote control that I got with this TV. Let me just go back to the home dashboard. Here we go. So the remote that I got with this TV is your standard LG TV remote, the smart TV remote. It doesn't have the click wheel. I think you got to buy that separately. And from the reviews, what I've seen for those remote controls, the magic remote, if I'm not mistaken, that's what they call it, the reviews are not good at all. So they're not, a lot of times they're not getting like the original product, or it lasts for only 5 or 6 months and it conks off. The remote that I got here does not have the smart wheel function or anything. It's just your standard button remote. And yeah, so every time you click, that's it. There's no scroll wheel or anything to make it easier. The remote control does have Netflix, as well as it's got Amazon Prime as hotkeys on the remote. And as you saw in YouTube, the red, yellow, orange, the red, green, yellow, blue buttons at the bottom do have certain features. So if I go into YouTube and we click on the search option, so you don't really have to use the spacebar, clear, and all those kind of buttons. You can use the mapped keys also. So for example, if I were to write something like, say, J-I-P, if you see the bottom right corner, the yellow and the green key are mapped to space and delete. So say I'm on the top row over here, I do not have to scroll all the way down to put space. I can hit the yellow button on my remote control and there's a space already. And then I can start typing my next word. There we go. Alright, I can press the yellow button once again, and there's another space, and I can start writing some other stuff. Here we are. There's a green button that's mapped to delete. So if I want to delete a single word, I do not need to scroll all the way here to the delete button. I can use the green button wherever I am, and it will do the same function. So I'm going to hit the green button right now. As you can see, the single words are getting deleted one after the other. Alright, perfect. So there's also other features where, say you are watching a video on YouTube, you can send the videos directly to YouTube if you're on the same network. So let me just check that out for you right now. I think you have to link your TV to your remote, to your phone, and for this you need to be on the same Wi-Fi network. So I'm just going to do that right now. Perfect. So my phone that I'm not recording on is connected to the same Wi-Fi network as my TV. I'm going to hit start on the YouTube application, and I'm going to search NCS once again on my phone. Alright, for some reason it doesn't want to work. Anyways, I've got this video that's right here by Jonathan Morrison. I'm going to click on that.
I get it. We're tired. We're exhausted. The last thing anybody
and the video has completely loaded on my phone. So there's a small little cast button on my phone. The moment I click it, it says cast to, and the LG TV pops up. So I'm going to click on LG TV, and if everything works perfectly, we should see it on my television set right now. So as you can see from my phone, it says connecting to LG TV WebOS, but there is no action or reaction rather from my television set. So that's a fail right there. Let's move on to the next thing that I like about this TV. The LG Web Store. There we go. Right about as I was about to.
So I want to do that vocally right now. For me, it's never been about.
So as you can see, I guess it would depend on the speed of your network. As you can see, it took almost about 30 seconds or 25 seconds for the video to come up on the TV screen. So the moment I hit play on my phone, it took almost 25 seconds, and now we can see the video on TV. It's pretty clear, and yeah, so it does work. So there's no screen mirroring. I haven't found screen mirroring yet. That's one of the cons of this TV, but you can send videos from your phone directly to your TV. So you don't need to use the whole search feature on YouTube. You know, if you don't want to use the remote control to click individual buttons, you can directly select the video on your mobile phone, which is much easier to do, and you hit the cast button and it comes onto your TV like that. Alright, so let's head back into the home dashboard. And okay, so let's talk about the LG web store, all right, the LG content store. So if I click the home button, you can see here, this icon right here is the LG content store. If I click on that, it takes a bit. So here's the thing that I noticed about the LG WebOS. The apps, once they're loaded, they're pretty smooth. There's no hiccups, no nothing, but it does take a bit for the applications to load up. Even the LG content store, as you saw, it took maybe about like 5 or 6 seconds at least to load up on your screen. And I think that's due to the 1 GB RAM that they have in here. I don't think this is like a really high RAM capacity TV. If I'm not mistaken, the specification said that there's 1 GB RAM in here. So that would explain why it takes a bit for everything, you know, whether it's the LG content store, so you could see there's quite a bit of lag over there. So even like not only the applications, even say the settings, for example, I hit the settings button and it took half a second for it to load up. If I go into all settings at the bottom left corner, if I click right now, it takes a second and a half to get to this thing. So yeah, the 1 GB RAM and the processor, not the best, fair enough. At 29,000, I guess you're just gonna get 1 or 2 GB RAM TVs, whether it's Android or any other, whether it's Samsung OS or I think they call it Tizen OS, and this is WebOS that we have here. So as you can see, there's quite a few apps. You've got YouTube, and there's a lot of Indian apps. You've got Hungama Play, you've got Voot, you've got Spotify, YouTube Kids. So this is a TV cast option because screen mirroring, like I mentioned, I couldn't find it natively. So there is an app for you to do that. There's a lot of other things. Amazon Music is here as well. This is an original Amazon Music made by Amazon and LG. There's Hungama, there's Web Video. There's a lot of casting apps. Here you go. And so that's pretty much it. This is what you see over here in the LG Web Content Store. It's nowhere close to Android. It's not even possible right now at this stage because Android has been out for a long time, and the apps, it's quite easy to port from a mobile device to an Android TV OS device. It's quite easy for the web developers to make a few changes and port them on. Whereas if they're talking about LG WebOS, they gotta start from scratch. All right, so moving on to the cons, like I mentioned, the 1 GB RAM, it is a little bit annoying, but once the application does load, it's smooth sailing from there, but still I would have liked at least like 2 GB of RAM. And so I click YouTube, as you can see, again, it takes at least a second for the YouTube icon to load on the screen, and then you have another 2 seconds for us to see the content, and then yeah. So once it's loaded, then it's smooth. I'm clicking, it's very responsive. So I guess even the processor is something that's not that fast. Right, and besides that, what do we have in the cons? Yes, I have noticed a little bit of frame drops on certain videos. So let's go to MKBHD's channel, right? MKBHD uses like top end specs on his camera equipment, like the top 8K, 4K, you name it. He uses all the latest, and those files are pretty heavy, and I don't know whether it is the LG's TV app, the YouTube app, that is not able to render MKBHD's video specifically, or there's some other issue, but sometimes in certain videos I do notice there's a problem. So I'm just gonna forward, oh okay, it was this video that I had noticed the frame drops. Either way, I'm gonna scroll onto the part where I noticed the frame drop. Alright, so we're gonna see a video here. After this scene, there's going to be the iPhone that's going to scroll from the right of the screen to the left of the screen. And as the iPhone gets to the left of the screen, you're going to notice a stutter. So I don't know if you saw that, but there was a stutter. I'm going to play that again for you. Should be about now. There you go. It was so micro, so minuscule, you probably wouldn't even notice on the video on YouTube, but I can see it. So I've noticed this only on his channel, but we had gone to Zolotech earlier, and I did not notice it over there. So this scene seems to be working pretty okay. But if you slow down the clip that I showed you earlier, you'll see that there is a bit of frame drop. And I think, I'm just assuming that's because this actually is a 50 Hertz refresh rate TV, not a 60 Hertz refresh rate TV. So if you go into the settings, into the specifications on Flipkart or on LG's own website, you're gonna notice that they say 50 Hertz display, not 60 Hertz. So I'm not a TV expert per se, but maybe that's the reason we noticed the stutter. All right, so moving on back to the dashboard. So you've got, like I said, this issue that comes up in certain videos as well, frame drops. Besides that, the remote control app, right? So the thing that I noticed about the remote control app, the one that they asked me to install with the television was called the LG TV Plus, if I'm not mistaken. And that application had an option to stream videos from your phone or whatever device the app was installed on directly onto your TV. Whereas it does give you a pop-up that this application is now merged into the LG ThinQ application. So I uninstalled the LG TV Plus remote, and then I went into the LG ThinQ application. And over there, I don't see the option for me to stream images and videos off my phone. So I don't know whether if they discontinue the LG TV Plus application and it's exclusively on LG ThinQ. I don't know if they're going to port this feature or not. But besides that, the app is actually fine. I actually use it sometimes over the TV remote control because there's actually a trackpad on the application, the LG ThinQ application. So that's really good. So if you want to say type things and maybe you want to use the TV's web browser, the TV does have a web browser. So having a trackpad is way easier to scroll. It's way easier to type as well. Maybe I'll do a video on that a bit later. So why I chose this over say an Android TV or a Xiaomi TV or a Realme TV. So it was the main thing was the LCD panel that is HDR capable. So at 29,000 or under 30,000, you're gonna have TVs that have 1 or 2 GB RAM. fair enough. This TV has 1 GB RAM, but what those TVs don't have is an HDR capable LCD panel. So the way I see it, in about 5 years time, if I have this TV that long, obviously a 1 GB RAM or even a 2 GB RAM TV is going to slow down considerably. So 5 years later, whatever Android TV box is available at that time, I'm probably going to have to purchase that. But what I can purchase at that time, what's impossible to change at that time, 5 years down, would be to change the panel. So I decided that having a 1 GB RAM operating system in your TV is okay trade-off. I could have that 1 GB RAM, the TV could slow down in 5 years, but the HDR capable panel is going to be here, and that's something I can't get on a Realme or a Xiaomi TV for now in this price segment. Besides that, what I did notice is that this is a perfect secondary TV. You can mount it on your wall. It's pretty good. And yeah, if you're getting it for the same price, you might as well have an LG TV. This is, after all, a tier 1 brand. Your Sonys, your Panasonics, your LGs, your Samsungs, these are like tier 1 brands if you ask me. So having a TV from LG at $29,000 in this price segment, I think most people should definitely choose this over say a Xiaomi TV. And yeah, of course, a Xiaomi TV will give you 4K at the same price. I think they have a model, the Mi 4X Pro or the 4A Pro, that actually has a 4K panel, and it sells for about $27,000, so just $2,000 less than this TV. But it does not have an HDR capable panel, and that's one of the reasons I decided to get this TV over that TV. So there you go, guys. This is my review for you. I know this video is a little bit long. If you have stayed till the end, please do leave a comment if you want to know certain things about this TV. I could always do a follow-up video. If there's enough questions about a particular feature, I could definitely do a follow-up video. I will be trying to do a follow-up video with the remote control app to show you how the cursor works. But for now, this has been it. I've been using this TV for 1 week approximately, and these are the things I thought I'd let you know. And thank you for staying till the end, and thank you to 137 of my subscribers who have stayed with me this long. I know I don't put a lot of videos out there, but thank you for sticking around. Alright guys, you have a nice day. Bye bye.